Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Um, it's not. Uh, it's not really visible. Um, yes, I'm from Angola, and I'm friend of uh, brother Benica.
Welcome,
Um,
welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome.
Um, he's been speaking about these meetings, and he said, like, today you have to tune in and listen. Group has to say.
Wow. And what do you think, sister?
Sorry.
And what do you think now that you've come in?
Um, okay. Um, uh, there are certain things that I've already knew for some time, like uh, more or less like the ethnics of Jesus Christ, for example. But for lately in my life, I didn't focus a lot on this because I realized that I want to focus on the essence of the teaching. Because if I will be focusing on certain things like the ethnic, I might not love enough other people. And when the gospel has to be shared, like it's to be shared to everyone, so our hearts have to be open to do this to everyone. And yes, and about the Simon Toko Church, I've heard, because I'm in Angola, I've heard about the church. Um, uh, I've heard about that it started long time ago. I've also heard of Fatima's the story of what happened in Fatima. Like
Yes,
they called them three pastors. It was three children who saw the things. Um,
yes.
However, I believe like that I don't like to see a lot of like to see people like a lot of like things like images, because each time we get to see different things. So I like to be led by the Holy Spirit. I'm not sure if it's the same in the church. I'm not sure if it's the same. But I like to get new knowledge, because wisdom is that sets people free. Like wisdom from God sets people free, because we get different knowledge from different places and we get confused. And nowadays
Mm,
it's not time for confusion. It's time
mm,
for discernment, because the time is closer and we have to be strong, like
mm,
strong, and have the courage to share with other brothers the word, like, because the simplest things, like I think the sister said that kids understand things. Like if you tell the kid like uh, uh, to love brothers, ne? Love sisters, but
mm,
because adults have so much baggage inside of them, they can't do certain things. Like that's why God refines people. We have seasons that we have to be refined to understand certain things. We have to pass through the processes in order for us to understand certain things and even to minister to other people. So that's why uh, the day that is passing, I prefer to become simpler and simpler, because it's like in Russia, right? Because I was born in Ukraine, and I've been living in until 11 years in Belarus, and I studied in Russian school. And there was a saying of a guy that it was saying, and I know that I know nothing, but it also was a phrase of I think ancient Greek that's saying like the more we think we know is like the less we know. So I like to get new knowledge, but at the same time I like to be vigilant about everything, um, because there is too much information nowadays everywhere. But I want just to become like a child, uh, be like simpler in order for me to understand and maybe even to share with other people, because it's like you say, people won't understand. They understand the coming. They won't understand all of this because people are not ready. So we just have to get ready, prepare your heart, purify yourself. Like if you have something in your heart which is not right, get like ask wisdom to, like, because it's a constant process. So I don't have much to say. Um, not like I don't have much to say anymore. It was good
Well, you
also to
said
be
a
in a.
mouthful.
Sorry.
You said a lot, and I think what you said is perfect. I love your humility, your humble spirit, and I agree with what you've said. We need discernment, because there's a lot of confusion going on. Very understandable, and most of all, we need the Holy Spirit. But what you have, I think, is the most important is the humble spirit, to know that we know nothing. That's when we can truly start learning. So thank you so much. We loved having you with us. I hope you can come the next week as well, because you are very wise yourself, and we would love that.
Hey,
Thank
Special.
Yes, Mama.
Real quick, I just want to add to. She did say a lot of wisdom. She spoke a lot of wisdom in what she said as well. Um, and I would like to share with her that over in America, because I know I'm finding out, have found out rather, that our family on the continent don't know our history over here in the diaspora and what happened to us and what we went through as a people, the
Mm-hmm.
tragic things that we experienced. With that being said, our ancestors could not speak their language, or their tongue would be cut out. The culture was taken away. They were afraid of our spirituality. I'm not going to get into more of that, but they could not practice their spirituality, and so they presented to us over here the white image of Christ. And so I know that in the book of, I think it's Ezekiel, the 34th chapter, I do believe, it talks about the two sticks coming together. She was privileged, our sister Priscilla, I think it's her name, was privileged to know who the real Messiah was. We were not over here. So we were awakened to this. So I think for us, because we weren't privy to that information, it is important for us to know that, because the Bible said that we must expose the very essence of evil. And that image was changed for a very devious plan for your ancestors that was brought over here into America. Granted, we should not just focus on it, but we need to be aware of the lies that have been brought down and given to us, because the Bible says that we will say that we have inherited lies from our father. All of us, black, white, all of us have inherited lies, and those lies have to be exposed and brought to the forefront, especially us in the diaspora, since our culture, our heritage, our language, everything about us, the essence, the core of who we are as a people was stripped from us. And so you guys on the continent still have that peace, and we need that peace. We need to know that. That is part of the two sticks coming together. And yes, we are to share the gospel to the other nations. Scripture tells us that, because we are the salt of the earth. So we are the preservative of his word. We're the preservative of holiness. So I didn't mean to go into all of that, but that piece is important for us because it was stripped from us, and we need to know the lies that was told to us. The lies have to be exposed to us so that our eyes can be open to who we are and to the truth.
Yes. Yeah, Sister Priscilla, I don't know if that makes sense. You know, basically what she's saying is, you're saying, obviously we need to spread the gospel throughout the world, but what she is saying is that the gospel that we have is incomplete. You know, we cannot say, you know, Jesus is every skin color because it's wrong. It's a lie. We need to speak it with truth. And how are we supposed to share something that we don't know? So, and when Christ was preaching the gospel, where did he start? He said, I'm sent not but to the house of Israel, Isolele. There's a reason why he went to his people first. And so, because we have the responsibility to be the light of the world, they will have to come to us and we will have to share with them the full truth and nothing but the full truth. So that is why it's important that we know the authenticity of Christ. He was Black. We need to say that with confidence and with gusto. He was African. We need to say that. He was Bantu. Because when we say that, the chains are breaking. You know, they're coming down. The iron yoke is coming down. That is how he said the truth will set you free. And our people, we have Christ, we have praise and worship, we even know the Spirit of Christ, but we don't have freedom. We're not free because we don't know, we don't have the full truth. And that is what we're trying to promote. I know I'm dealing with the same issue in my family. They say, why does it matter? We're still on Black Jesus. Can you believe it? They still can't get past Black Jesus. So how? It's just the doorway. If you can't get past Black Jesus, how are you gonna address everything else, your beautiful heritage, the gifts of the Most High, you know? So that's why, Sis Priscilla, I think us on the continent, we need to, I pray we get the boldness of our people in the diaspora who have expressed that they've had enough, you know, Black Lives Matter with all of that. And if we Africans can take a page from their book and start to stand and say, this is our nation, this is ours, this book is ours, not out of pride of our hearts, but to say we have the truth and you can also have it too. You just have to go through us. No problem. You just have to respect us. Stop walking all over us. Stop with the nonsense, stop with the racism, stop stealing our stuff, respect us. Then we'll open our hearts to you. Then we will share and your paths will be open. But if you curse us, if you don't invite us in, please do not go preaching this. Just close the book, just close it now. Just leave, because there's nothing for you there. If you can't see us, there is no ways you will see Christ. There's no ways. And we need to be clear about that. Because as you said, the world is confused and we are there to set them straight. Yeah, anyway. We also have someone who I never saw before, Royal Daughter. I wonder if she's still there. I so enjoyed seeing you, but I need to welcome you on this platform formally.
I'm still here.
You're still here. How are you, Mama?
I'm awesome, thank you. Because God is awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome. So I have to be awesome because I was made in his image.
And where are you from? Where are you talking to us from?
I am currently in New York City. I've been living here for 33 years, but I am from Trinidad and Tobago originally.
Well, you look exactly like my aunt, like my great aunt. Yeah, I mean, you look like you come from our family village. Straight up.
I am Bantu.
You are. You look South African and you look Xhosa or Sotho specifically.
Well,
Wow.
you know what? When I did my ancestry, see, I know for you guys it's not a big deal because you do know your heritage, but with us it's a big deal. It helps. So when I did mine, it was Cameroon, Congo, and the Southern Bantu people.
Mm-hmm.
Specific to Cameroon, Congo, and the Southern Bantu people.
Southern Bantu. Ah, no, you definitely one of us. No DNA test needed. In South Africa, they'll just start speaking to you in Xhosa. I'm sure. I'm sure. Thank you for being with us. What are your thoughts? How did you come to here? Because I know it's a very deep topic. So I also get shocked when I see new people. I'm like, oh my goodness. I don't think if I was new and I came on a channel, I'd be like, yo, you guys are crazy. So how did you find this information and what do you think?
Well, I've been a Sabbath keeper all my life. And so the church I went to, we were really focused on truth, but the one thing that, we're all finding out is that in the Old Testament, they had the law and the prophets. So they would tell you what was coming. But in this new time, it's more about the Holy Spirit and revelation.
Right.
So it's like the truth evolves.
Okay.
And the one thing with my church, they didn't evolve. But I was, I think it was 2005. I was home and I had an injury that I got from working, and so I had surgery, and I was literally flat on my back, and just the thought came to me like, I really want to know about slavery. We were taught, the generic version in school. It happened, get over it. That's basically school. So I just got curious, like I really want to learn about slavery. So I got on my computer because I'm flat on my back. That's all I could do. Sometimes God's push you flat on your back. So so I started reading up about slavery, the slave trade, and I started finding out, and the more I started looking, I started seeing pearls, little pearls, like and I started following each thread, and I'm like, I was awed. I was totally awed. So I always believed in the Sabbath, but I just didn't know that we were Isoleli. So just that knowledge just blew me away. It took me like I believed. I mind blowing to me to know that the people that we were reading about, because my mom knows, she could tell you the Bible inside out, backwards, forward. So she was adamant of us learning the Bible. So I was a Seventh-day Adventist. I was a Church of God Seventh Day. It's a totally different church. So my mom would have us sit and read the Bible. So the more I started looking into the history of the transatlantic slave trade, the more I understood the Bible. And the more, like it was mind blowing to me that these people that we've been reading about all our lives is me, is my ancestors, and that just blew me away. So I started, that journey. Like I was just reading up anything and everything. I bought books, every movie I could, every documentary I was looking up just to find the information. And so I've shared it with my mom, my dad, my sisters, and incredibly, I'm surprised that some of my sisters believe, and my dad is totally on board. My mom, she goes back and forth on that. But I'm basically the only one out of my family that really is 100% convinced that like this is who I am and there's no going back and that's about it. But ironically, when I did my ancestry, I traced my mom's family because my mom's ancestors migrated from the United States in the War of 1812. They have this whole documentary on YouTube. It's fascinating about, they call them the Americans. They were slaves in Virginia and I think it was Atlanta, South Carolina, and they fought in the War of 1812 against, they fought with the British against America. And because the British told them that if you fight with us, we will abolish slavery, you won't be slaves anymore, and we will give you property and stuff like that. So they fought with the British against America. And so they took them after the war and they brought them to Trinidad. And they set them up with, this is what this is like, this constantly blows my mind because I remember the promise to Abraham was for property, land, because when they brought them to Trinidad, they gave them each 16 acres of land that was only to be passed down to their family.
Oh,
And
so they actually got something.
yeah, in South Carolina, they call it heirs property, but in Trinidad, they call it bloodland because it can only be passed down to your descendants. You can't sell it.
Mm.
And so my mom, on her side, that's her history. So she is related to the Gullah people in
The
South
US.
Carolina. As a matter of fact, the Gullah Queen Quet, just recently, a couple of years ago, visited the community. Set up in Trinidad, it's like they have that whole village to themselves. They set up in companies just as they came, and the names are still there. And they have that reenactment every, it's 200, they've been there since so it's 204 years since they've been there, 205 years. So every year they have that reenactment, how they came in and, So my mom's family, we traced them all the way back because when I did my ancestry, somebody popped up that was African, that never left the continent.
Oh,
We traced them all the way back to the Congo Angola area.
exactly. Because Gula or Gala comes from Gola.
Yes.
And you said they came from Virginia, which in line with Pastor Miller was saying 1619. That was the first, your ancestors were from the first place that
Yes.
that slaves were sent to in Virginia from
Yes.
Angola. Wow, and you were able to trace your history almost exactly.
And would you believe that the first slave came to the United States on August 20th, 1619, and my ancestors were taken to Trinidad on August 20th, 1820. Yes. So it's like you could trace the hand of God with them through with the dates and the land and everything. So that's on my mom's side. Now my dad's side is I just recently found out this history that my dad was we grew up knowing that we were part Carib. It's indigenous the indigenous people, the Caribs and the Arawak, they call them, the indigenous people of Trinidad. So they came from Venezuela, and they were just recently I was finding out that the Caribs are actually they came from Nigeria area, but they call them caribou in Nigeria. They call them caribou, and now I'm learning that they were
Kabiru.
Kabiru, right? in East
Kabiru.
Africa, Kabiru, right?
That's where the
And
word
so
Hebrew comes from.
that's right. So they came to St. Vincent in the island in the Caribbean. They came to St. Vincent and they met up with the Arawak people that were there, the indigenous people, and they started to intermarry with them and have children with them. And so when I think it was the Spanish came and took St. Vincent, because they were darker skinned, the darker skinned ones, they separated them and they put them on a boat and they just set them into the Caribbean Sea, hoping that they would die. And so they made it to Honduras. And so that they call them in Honduras, they call them the Garifuna people. But that was the origin of the Caribs. So that's my dad's ancestry.
Word, Garufuna. Funa means in my language, want something.
So that's my dad's history. So I'm Bantu all the way.
Wow. Can we please just give a hand for this lady with our new, for tracing all her history from Babylon. She
And
traced
that's rare.
1619.
That's
Respect.
rare,
You know, I
especially.
Welcome home.
had,
You know,
I
Mama,
had
you're
this,
talking about your research.
I had this dream like about 6 years ago. I had this dream, and I was in front of a house, and I knew it was Tatan Zambi speaking to me, and he said, "This is your house," and I said, "My house? You're giving me a house?" And I was like, "Thank you." But what stood out for me was the color of the house. You know, I'm not even looking at the house. I'm stuck on the color. And so it was like, it was until last year that I really understood this dream in full. When I looked at the flag of the Congo, that was the color that of the house that he told me, "This is my house." And so I was like, wow. Then I said to myself, I know this, the shape of the Congo. I know the shape. What is it? And I came out of the shower one day and I'm standing in the mirror and I was like, oh, the shape of the Congo, the nation of the Congo is my birthmark.
No.
So yeah. So I've been led all my life. I just didn't understand it till now.
Oh, Don Zambi be praised. Well, let me tell you, you mentioned that you've always been a truth seeker and you've sought truth, you've heard about the Sabbath, but they never really transitioned or wanted to go further, but you always wanted more. You always wanted more and you sought for more. Well, let me tell you that you were in the right place. You are witnessing another group of people who said, I'm not satisfied. There's more. So you are home. This is what we do. We want to research, not for the sake of intellect, not to be called sir, doctor, masters, what. We want to be, what's that verse? Where it says about the word, we must show ourselves qualified.
Study
Can
to
someone
show yourself approved.
study and show yourself approved?
Study to show yourself approved.
Thank you. We are looking for an A mark from Tatan Zambi when we walk in. Some others, they are satisfied with maybe 60%, maybe 42, maybe 70, but we 100%. When we get there, we say, Sonini, we got it. We solved the riddle. We got you. So you are absolutely home. It's a pleasure to have you. And regarding your back, it's funny. I think I shared the same story with you. Exactly the same thing happened to me. I was also had an operation. I was lying on my bed, just, doing nothing. I also would pull up. I even struggled to open the book. I had to close them. And even the books I had were nonsense anyway. So I couldn't open them. Tatan Zabi told me they were trash. So I was Googling myself, and that is how he also ministered to me, you know, as the book of Psalms says, on my bed of languishing. That is when he visited me. So
Wow.
nothing is by accident. Thank you
True.
so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Woo! Thank you, family. What a great testimony.
And get so royal daughter, welcome to the family. Yeah, I'm
Thank
also
you.
from Angola. Brother to Samba is from Angola, and he is from Zaire. Zaire actually is the place where the capital of the Kingdom of Congo is established since back on those days. And the capital is called Mbanza, Congo. That's the capital. So, and most of the slaves that were taken from Angola, they were taken from the Kingdom of Congo, let's say from Africa, because, yeah, we're taken from the Kingdom of Congo. Yeah, most of your forefathers, actually, not all, because as you said, some, they also came from another different part of Africa, but most of them, they were taken from the Kingdom of Congo. After they destroyed the kingdom. And they, it's easy. If you want to destroy the kingdom, just split. That's what they did. They same our ancestors obviously they taken that they took them as a slave. Most of them, 19, 16, 19. The first slavery ship reached America on 1916, 19, as you already know. This is why, the King Congo people, if you just, when I look to you, when you talk, the power that you have when you pray, for me, it's normal because you are my family. You know, that's how we behave. And like us, we in Africa, we say, you know, we say, uh, uh, we say African American. They are a very different black people because their mind is very open in such a way compared to some people in the land which is a little bit closed. And when I look at you and when I look to Bantu people, there's no difference. And people from the Congo kingdom, that's how they behave. They are wise, the mind is very open. Hey, they don't like people who fool them. Let's say if somebody is fool you, will you believe? No, because you are too wise. That's how we are. That's how we are. And most of you, most, so many people were taken from the south part and others were taken from the north part of the kingdom, because the kingdom were all over the entire, all over the African continent. And even when I look to Mama Doris, I don't know if she's still there. Mama Doris, she looks like my auntie as well. She looks, if she goes, Mama Doris, she's still there, okay. Mama Doris, if you go to Ouija, to Ouija, oh, they will say you are Bakongo just by looking at your face, actually, by looking at you, we can see. This is why when Sister saw Mama Royal, she was like, she looked like a Koza. But
From the
Koza
south,
also,
straight
yeah,
up.
yeah. But, she looked like a Koza. But Koza also came from Congo. Sister Special knows that. They also came from Congo to, to the south part of Africa. But concerning you, Mama Doris, oh, when I saw you for the first time, I was like, oh, she looks like auntie. Yeah,
Yeah, she's
Wheezy.
speaking barely.
Wheezy.
Yeah. I'm
From
sad because
Kimberley. Yeah, you look.
I'm sad because I'm remembering a story my grandfather used to tell me, because I used to ask him where we're from, and he was telling me the migration from more northern Central Africa, and they were running away from the slave trade. So I'm thinking, hey, you guys were part of our family, and then we ran south, where eventually, if slavery didn't catch us, colonialism caught us. But that's where we were broke apart, because others got caught, where others were fleeing into other parts of Africa. Yeah, and of course, they eventually started the slave trade also in the South Africa, the Cape Colony. But by that time, we had fled all the way to the southernmost tip of Africa. So we are family. We're probably, like I said, 400 years ago, we were just separated by force. So
Especially. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were finished.
go ahead.
Are you finished? I don't
Yes,
want to
I'm finished.
interrupt. Oh,
I'm finished.
it's interesting. I remember you saying that once before. And with us going to Africa, and we did a tour with this young man, that's what he does. We had him to ourselves, and hearing what he heard, what he told us, and what we knew also about West Central Africa, it's very evident that the Bantus were targeted, because in East Africa, the first people that were on Tanzania that lived over there, we learned were the Bantu people. It was the Bantu people that they started enslaving. Actually, the young man that was telling us, he comes from Iran. He's Persian. So they'll tell you that the Persians are white, and that it was long ago. Someone that's from the Agapuyu tribe I talked to, she told me that, she said, I just have a suspicion that our in captivity with the Babylonians and the Syrians were not as far out as they are telling us. And with this young man telling us that he was Persian, I began to research about the Oman, that were over the Oman sultans that were over the, like, tippy tip, that were over the slave trade, which were Black Arabs in East Africa. And just from that little research there, it seems to be true with what she's saying, because the Persians joined in with the Arabics and they enslaved our people. And they also told them on that island, that's why you see a lot of them that are Muslim over there. It's because they told them through our teaching that we got from the tour guide. He said they were told, if you take on our identity, our names, and our culture, we will not enslave you. So that is why you see such a heavy presence of Islam in Tanzania. And they also stated that a lot of their names, the Bantu names, were changed because they did not want to be associated with enslaved people. They didn't want to identify because they treated them differently. So they changed their names to Muslim. So a lot of people in Tanzania, the bulk of them are Bantu.
Mm.
Even though their names are not Bantu, it may be, Muslim names, but they're Bantu. They were changed. So the Bantu people were targeted.
Yes, this is a switch. Can you just allow me to share my screen regarding to this conversation? Something just came on my mind, and I made a quick presentation about this. Okay, thanks. Thank you a lot. I hope you can see all my screen. Yeah, so we are talking about the slavery trade. If we all shake, we are here in Africa. It is the Central Africa. Most of people that were taken to America in the heartland, they're part of Congo Kingdom. If you shake over here, it's more in Congo and goes up, there is here, Gabon, and other countries. But if you check, most of them, they were more taken from Congo and then it spread all over to the American, Ireland, all these places. And we have another picture here that shows more. That is, it shows Angola, Congo. If you check all this yellow stuff, back in the days, it used to be Congo Kingdom. So it's proof once again that we are all family. Our ancestors are the same. No ways for us to doubt that you and us are different people. Not at all. We are the same people. So our ancestors, they were taken there and they reproduced it and they made you to become, to exist. And those who were in the land, they reproduced it, and from them we are here and you as well. Check where all these people were taken. 5 million to Rio de Janeiro, that is Brazil. If you go to Brazil, check where is Brazil. If you check the arrow, it's coming more from Angola. In Brazil, you're gonna find a lot of Angolan people. They even have a martial arts that they call it capoeira. The Brazil now, they are saying that capoeira belongs to them. Not at all. Capoeira was one of martial arts that Angolan slavery, they used it to fight against the white people, the Mundele, those times. So taken to America, North American, all these things, we have now another presentation that I just took quickly from my notes, that is the Bantu immigration, and where actually Bantu are more located in Africa. You see, these Bantu are here, most of Central Africa, and a little bit up are Bantu people. Then from these Bantu people, they were taken out. Where? In America, in Caribbeans, and other places. So there is no way for us to doubt that we are the same people. Our ancestors are all the same people, Bantu people. So they were taken to America, and then they were immigrating as well inside of Africa. See, they're coming over here, up here is Gabon. They're coming to Congo, Angola, and then they came down here, that is South Africa, and then other parts of Central Africa as well. So that is the presentation. I made it quickly to answer most of this immigration stuff that we are talking about. We are all the same people, as like Brother Benika said. When he looks at Mama Doris, it seems like she looks more Angolan. And when I say to everyone, you guys look all alike to people in the land. There is not much a difference. And even when you see somebody, oh, this face is not it's strange to me, I know. Because when I look to Mama, like Mama Tamara, I was talking with Brother Benika. I said, look how Mama Tamara is, Brother Benika. She looked like a people from south of Angola. We call them Sulanos. Why? A phrase, she's very calm, quiet woman. That's how people from the south are in Angola. So, my dear family, there is no much doubt to put on our head and our mind that we are one people. So you guys were taken outside. Now is the time for you to come. For us, as like Brother Theo Melo said, for us to build a better Africa. And my dream, my personal dream, is to make Africa the better place to live for our generation. To make Africa like Europe, American for our generation. So for you guys coming to Africa will be a great start for us to build a better system, a better empire, a better place for our generation, for our people. So thank you a lot once again.
Brother Tusamba, just look at Sister Shandea, the way she is seated.
Yes.
She doesn't look Solana. She looks Solana. Solana is people
Look,
from the
Solana,
south.
my goodness.
You know, we're just guessing, man. Never mind.
It's like my sister, Shandea.
The way you place, you know, you look like Solana. Your face, you know. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, you know.
You say it again, Fulana.
Solana.
Oh,
Solana.
Sulana.
Solana is like Mbundu people, Kimbundu people, of Mbundu. Yeah.
Okay. And so
Those are
what
the people.
region are they found?
Say again?
I said, like, what region of Africa are they found? The Sulana people.
Yeah, the south part of Angola. Yeah, the south part of Angola is, you know, is dominated by Mbundu people, Kimbundu people of Mbundu. Yeah. So the north, yeah, the Bakongo, they took over the north, and Sulano, they took over. This is why Sulano comes from the south. Sul is south in I mean, Sul is Portuguese, south is English. So Sulano come from Sulano, in Portuguese. So people from the south, they call it Sulano. It's like, oh, you Sulano, it's mean you're from the south. And we can, even if you go to Angola, I mean, if I go to Angola, if I look to a person without him saying a word, I can describe where is he from just by looking. This is why I said if my daughters go to Angola, they will look at her, they will say, you are a Congo. God, to the north part of Angola. If you go to Angola, they will look at you, you know, yeah. The internet.
See me, everyone. Hey. I'm just pitching on what Brother Benika said, because in Jamaica, if you go to certain, especially the rural areas, they'll be able to look at you and tell you which family you're from.
Oh yes, and they will even fight over you. Like for me, I'm claiming royal daughter. I'm like, closer this one. They'll even fight. And then they're like, no, she's our tribe. No, she's this. And then we'll all have to remind each other, hey, we're all Bakong. We come from the same place. Everyone, calm down, calm down. Yes, they came from America, but we all, yes, even though she's closer, even though she's Sulana, even though at the end of the day, we are Bakongo, all of us, Congolese, Kingdom of Congo, Bantu blood. That's it's because it might not be a big thing to you because you guys obviously wanting the tribes, but for us the tribalism is it's elite here. Like you don't have, us Xhosas, I mean, we dominate South Africa. I'm not trying to be tribalistic, but I mean we are the best, you know. We sing, we basically claim our territory, even the Zulus as well. We always have little things here and there with the Zulus because they also can't share the stage, you know. They have to be Zulu, you know. So, but it's a little bit overboard here in Africa. So that's why we have to, our biggest challenge in Africa is going to be have to reminding everyone that, hey, we all come from the same place, you know, and we're all brothers and sisters. But yeah, go ahead, but we will fight over you. I'm just giving you a warning. Yeah.
With Brother Benika saying that about Shandia, when he said they speak Portuguese, when Shandia speaks in tongues, she speaks Portuguese. That was something Yanana told us, that it was Portuguese that sounded like that she was speaking.
I'm on, you guys.
Oh. Does she speak in tongue? Oh, she's a Vati. We have plenty of Vati over here.
Found.
We have plenty of Vatis over here. Sister Shandia, do you know those people speaking tongue? They are Vatis and Sias.
No, I didn't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, but this is why I feel a connection when I look at you all.